Hello and welcome back. Today we will be speaking of my Spurs, my Tottenham Hotspur. The season is coming up. We got our first game in just over 3 weeks, and we have our first cup game for the Carabao Cup against Charlton. Funny enough, the team I used in one of my football club rebuilds on PlayStation. Um, but this season, I'm expecting big things, and so I just want to come on here and kind of talk about what I'm expecting before because I want to talk about the NBA schedule as well. But that releases in full tomorrow, and there are some matchups for the Sixers that I have underlined that I don't see announced yet. So I'm just waiting for those to talk about the full schedule and talk about how I think we'll do this year. So today we're going to be talking about Tottenham, especially after this morning it was announced that deal is done for our boy Jed Spence to leave and go to Inter for I think it was £30 million. And do I think that this transfer was an undersell? Yeah. But if Jed wanted to leave England, I don't think it's right to keep him here, especially I trust De Zerbi. I trust it now. We don't have Levy making decisions. I trust what De Zerbi has cooking. He says he's got another bomber for us. We'll talk about who that might be, and it does suck though because now we don't have someone really who can fill that role that Spence left. I guess our defense will look a little something like Van de Ven, who just signed a new 5-year deal up to Spurs. My favorite player. Probably. My favorite's Pap Sar, but I'm sure he's going to be leaving too now that he certainly won't be playing much. Um, we got Romero's leaving, so he's not going to be here. So there's going to be a Dutch Wall, Jan Paul van Heck, uh, and Mickey Van Ven, and then I guess Andy Robertson will be playing. Big Kevin Danso still viable. Marco Sensi. So there are options, but not quite the defense that you want to go into the year with. I trust Antoine Kinski in goal. Hit last year, he's a bit underwhelming. At the start of his campaign last year, where he allowed a massacre in Madrid, and that was the first leg of our Champions League round of 16 match, and we played really well in the second leg. But even with winning that match, sorry, I'm tired. Even with winning that match, it didn't matter. Um, hurt my lip because we already been down 3 goals. I think 5-2 on the aggregate, and then we won that match 3-2. It should have been 3 or 4-2 at the minimum. We missed a wide open chance, but that didn't really matter at that point. But after that, Kinski really locked in. He made a big save against Leeds in the dying embers to salvage a point, and then a huge save just a few weeks later against Wolves to get us 3 points there. And then we stayed up, I think, by 4 points, and that's 4 points. So yeah, it came down to the last day. We knew we needed to, or I think we stayed up by 3 points, but it was really 4 points because we got 3 points on the last day, and they got I don't remember what they got, but I know that us winning was enough, and I think they tied. Um, West Ham, and even if they won, it wouldn't have mattered. They needed to win and us to lose because we basically had the point differential locked in, the goal differential, point separator. Um, but then over the off season, we signed so far Sandro Tonali, one of the biggest signing in club history to the point. I think he's going to do great things for our midfield. I think he's something we needed, and along with him playing out in the midfield is Fernandez, who scored an absolute screamer in his Tottenham debut. Um, an absolutely beautiful player that he is. We got him from West Ham. He was undoubtedly their best player, and that's just it's what we do. We send teams down and take their best player on the way there. Obviously, not the season we wanted, but huge upgrades for Zerbi in the offseason, as well as Dean Kulusevski getting closer. I cannot pronounce his name. Getting closer to the return, and James Madison returning and playing a little bit and being named our captain for next year if he remains healthy. So that will be our midfield rotation. Then in the attack, you got obviously we got Xavi and Kudas on the wings, but really the question mark right now is the striker. That's what the Bama signing is going to be. That Savino, or not the Savino, Savino's happening. That he claims is happening. Robert De Zerbi. I'm really hoping. I'm really hoping the Bama isn't Savino. That that contract that has been in talks since basically November at this point. We knew we were getting Savino at some point in this offseason, and the reports today is that it will be tomorrow that Savino joins Tottenham. Or not tomorrow, next week that Savino joins Tottenham. Um, Around $70 million for that payment to work out. And Savino is going to be a really good player, probably start for us in a lot of matches and move Zavi to the bench. But I'm really hoping that's not the Bama because Solanke's a good striker, Richarlison's a good striker, but they're not starting quality above Europa League. We need a Champions League striker if we want to qualify. And I saw uh, Torres being floated from Barca. I think that would be a great move. I saw Osmian. I don't think that will happen, but that would be something. But the one I would love is Florian Balogun because I find that more realistic. I find him way more realistic. That move for around 60 million, I think, would be the price, and he was the U.S. men's team striker in the World Cup and did great things, caught our interest, and I think putting him at the central point of our attack, interchanged with Richarlison and Solanke at certain points, could lead to this team doing great things. I trust Zerbi Foley as our coach as he produced better ball than we saw from Ange and Frank. Well, Ange was good in Europe, but was absolutely terrible domestically. And I guess De Zerbi wasn't great domestically, but he was really because when he came in, we were in the relegation zone and he saved us from that point. So I'm really hoping that the first full season under De Zerbi ball goes well. My expectations, I would like to make it far in the FA Cup quarterfinal, semifinal. I'd like to win the Carabao Cup. That's a high expectation, but I think we can do it. I don't see why not. And I'd like to place in England, I would say, because we don't play Europe, so one match a week, unfortunately for me. I was spoiled last year, even though we sucked in both competitions. We were actually good in Europe, but I was spoiled last year. So I think I'm hoping for a top 6 finish. Hopefully top 5 when we make the Champions League. But I genuinely think we are better than a lot of the other clubs. I think we should finish above Chelsea. I think we should finish above United. I think we should finish in that range. I think Arsenal and Man City might still be the top 2, but I think we shouldn't be that far off at 3rd or 4th. And I think we can qualify for the Champions League and then have one more big summer and then win the Prem. I think we can win the Prem this year if we have the best season possible. But those are my anticipations, my excitement for this year as a Tottenham Hotspur fan. We've played our preseason. We won, I think, all of our preseason games that I saw. And now our next match is Carabao Cup against Charlton at home. And then we get, I believe, our season opener is Brentford. That should be 3 points. And I just can't wait. It's going to be a fun year. And I think we're going to be much better than last year. And expect a video talking about the NBA schedule soon. We already know our marquee matchups for that. But tomorrow we get to see the entire schedule, see what's up. So thank you for watching and expect more soon.